It's no secret that eating a healthy diet is the key to living a longer and more fulfilled life. And it seems that nowadays everybody is trying out different types of diets. Well, in this video, I am going to talk about my top 5 mistakes people make when starting a new diet. Enjoy. All right, let's just get started right now. The first mistake is people are not getting enough fiber in their diets. And this is a terrifying statistic, but 95% of American adults and children are not meeting the daily requirement of fiber intake. Most Americans are eating 15 grams or less of fiber per day when the recommended intake is 25 to 35 grams of fiber per day. And I think really people should be getting over 50 grams of fiber. And this brings me to the second mistake that people often make when starting a new diet. And that is we are not getting enough variety of foods. And this, when I talk about variety, I'm really speaking to the variety of different plants, because it is a variety of different plants that provides you with a variety of different fibers, which helps to feed a variety and diverse gut microbiome. And if you've watched any of my other videos on the topic of the microbiome, then you would know what I am talking about. So after this video, make sure you check those out. The third mistake is that people think they are not getting enough protein. That is not the case. In the United States, people are getting plenty of protein. So all of the powdered protein things you're adding to your diet, you probably do not need those. And one thing that you can do to at least lower your inflammation and solve the protein issue, having too much protein, is to eat less animal products. And so whenever I give my patients my diet guide, I tell them 90% plant and 10% animal products. That includes dairy if you don't have a problem with it, animal flesh, and eggs. However, you can go 100% plant-based and get all the protein you need. What happens if you eat too much protein? Well, your body uses the dietary protein as building blocks for things that it needs to build muscle, to build enzymes and other things. And so whatever your body doesn't need of the protein, that gets converted into sugars. The fourth mistake is that people eat too frequently. Really, you only need to eat 2 to 3 times per day. And some of the reasons for this is that if you are snacking and grazing all throughout the day, you are constantly having an insulin increase. Every time you eat protein and carbohydrates, your insulin will increase. And insulin makes your body store fat. Insulin makes things grow in your body. So we don't want to have all of these growth factors around all the time. So if you take breaks, let's say you eat breakfast at 7, lunch at noon, dinner at 5, giving a 5-hour break in between each meal, then you're going to only have those 3 insulin spikes during the day, and you're not going to have the growth factors. You're not going to have inflammation is also caused by insulin. And you're not going to have as much fat accumulation because the signal to store fat just isn't there. And the other reason why I say to take breaks in between your meals is because we don't want to be constantly feeding microorganisms that have colonized the small intestine. So when you eat, food goes in your stomach and then goes into your small intestine first. And it is in your small intestine where your body is supposed to be absorbing all the nutrients. Well, if you're eating constantly all the time, your body's going to say, we don't some of these nutrients, we don't need these ones, and what's going to end up happening is those nutrients are going to go to feed certain species of microorganisms in the small intestine, which could very well set you up for a SIBO-like situation, meaning you're just having too high populations of the wrong species in the wrong place, and they could produce digestive problems like gas, bloating, and things like that. The fifth mistake when people start a new diet is that they don't read the ingredients in their food. Now, I am a strong advocate of eating a whole food diet, so if you ate a whole food diet, you wouldn't even have to read the ingredients because things wouldn't be coming in a package. But with the way life is, there are some things that are just difficult to avoid not getting pre-made. So whenever you purchase pre-made foods, always read the ingredients, and if there are things in the ingredients that are questionable, look it up on the internet to see if it has any problems. A good resource is PubMed, because you could get primary literature that would show that, you know, polysorbate 80 could disrupt your microbiome, which is an ingredient in a lot of creamy stuff like ice cream. So it's important to know what you're putting in your body. And with that said, there are some things that aren't on the ingredient list, and the main thing that could cause a problem in your, at least with your gut microbiome, is pesticides. So there's resources online. You go to ewg.org, and they have the Dirty Dozen list, and they'll show you like what are the top 12 most heavily pesticide sprayed foods. A couple foods that they don't have on that list that I know for sure are heavily sprayed is wheat, soy, and corn. So of these foods, if you can, if it's available, if you could afford it, get them organic, and always, always, always read the ingredients. Know what is going into your body, because these companies that produce this food, they just want to make a profit, and they don't really seem to care what the food is doing unless legal issues come up for them. With that, I wish you all good luck with your dietary changes. You can check out some of my other videos where I talk about the types of diet you should be eating. If you like the video, consider giving it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and click the bell so that you don't miss out on more videos like this one. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.